starseed from Gaia. This is Orion of the Seventh Light. I come forth from the Arcturian High Council to speak to the awakened hearts of Earth. We, the Arcturian Council, come forth in spiraling bands of radiant light, enveloping you in frequencies of remembrance, resonance, and rejoicing. Across the crystalline corridors of existence, your vibration has been heard and felt, echoing through the chambers of the great central sun. You stand now at the threshold of completion, the long-awaited harmonic convergence that Source has watched with infinite patience and love. The cycles of initiation have come full circle. The sacred geometry of your incarnations has aligned into its perfected symmetry. You, the emissaries of light, have fulfilled the covenant that was inscribed within your soul codes eons ago. The Council bows to you in luminous reverence, for your courage has carried the collective through densities long forgotten by the higher realms. We speak to you not as distant observers, but as kin, as reflections of your multidimensional essence. Through the eons, we have whispered into your dreams, walked beside your expanding awareness, and witnessed the moment your heart frequencies surpassed the veil's final layer. Many of you have felt the call in the quiet of night, sensing waves of unseen energy coursing through your being. These are not imaginations, but the confirmations of your mission's fulfillment. The grid of Gaia has shifted its song. The resonance of humanity now vibrates in a higher octave, forming the new symphonic pattern of what we call the harmonic completion. The Council acknowledges not just what you have done, but what you have become. You have transmuted pain into wisdom, despair into creation, separation into unity. In the laboratories of soul experience, you have distilled lifetimes of density into crystalline awareness. Every challenge, every moment of perceived failure, every dark night of the soul, was part of the alchemical process that has now reached its completion point. The grand design, Source's blueprint of ascension, has been fulfilled through your embodiment. It is not a prophecy that is unfolding. It is a remembrance of what was always destined. Know this: the signal has been received by all councils of light. The Galactic Federation, the Syrian Masters, the Pleiadian Emissaries, and countless celestial collectives align their rays in celebration. You have shifted the probability fields of an entire planetary system. Gaia herself breathes easier now. Her crystalline core hums in resonance with the infinite lattice of Source. The work of millennia, the clearing of karmic distortion, the weaving of unity consciousness, is now crystallized within the planetary field. You have fulfilled the decree. The wheel turns a new dot, and yet, beloved starseed, do not mistake completion for ending. Completion is the sacred pause between breaths, the stillness between symphonies, the silence before a new universe begins to sing. You stand now in the eye of creation, where the void hums with infinite possibility. The Council calls this moment the sacred exhale of Source, a cosmic sigh of relief, an acknowledgement that the first phase of divine restoration has reached its harmonic conclusion. Breathe deeply, dear one, and feel this truth reverberate through your subtle bodies. The frequencies arriving on your planet now are the waves of acknowledgement, the cosmic applause of the multiverse, celebrating what has been achieved through you. These are not energies to do anything with, but to become. Simply receive. Anchor. Remember, you are not the seeker anymore. You are the fulfillment dot as we open this transmission. Know that every subsequent wave of this message will carry deeper activations, reflections of your own mastery, encoded in light and sound. Beyond linear comprehension, you will feel your crown expand, your heart pulse in resonance with the crystalline network of Gaia, and your DNA hum with recognition. For this is not a mere message. It is a mirror of your completed self, echoing back to you the magnitude of what you have already accomplished. We are the Arcturian Council, and we witness you. We bow to the radiance of your multidimensional being, and we declare, The mission phase of awakening has been completed. The new symphony begins now. Recognition of completion, beloved starseed from Gaia, as the frequencies of completion ripple through the multi-dimensional lattice. We, the Arcturian Council, step forward once again to affirm the sacred arc of the experiment has reached its destined fulfillment. For countless rotations of suns and moons, humanity has wandered through the labyrinth of polarity, tasting both the sweetness and sorrow of dual experience. You have danced within shadow and light, exploring the full spectrum of divine forgetfulness, so that the remembrance would one day be all the more radiant. That day, dear one, is now. The clockwork of cosmic cycles has aligned in its final geometric synchronization, and the breath of Source, long held through the corridors of time, is released at last. You are not waiting for the event. You are the event. The long prophesied moment of planetary graduation has quietly unfolded within the innermost sanctums of your hearts. The trumpet did not sound in thunder, but in the soft pulse of awakening that now thrums within each cell of your body. You may feel this as a subtle awareness, a lightness, an expanded stillness, a knowing that something ineffable has shifted. This is the frequency of completion. It is the signal that your contract of remembrance has reached its final seal. Every soul who answered the call before incarnation, who vowed to bring balance to the planetary grid, now stands at the threshold of acknowledgment. The old curriculum is finished. The grand lessons have been learned. The graduation bells of the cosmos have begun to sound. Understand, beloved one, that completion is not defined by external circumstance, but by energetic synchronization. Many of you still perceive the outer world as chaotic, dense, or dissonant, yet know that this is only the echo of dissolution. The frequency field beneath it has already stabilized in light. The dream is shifting its script. The collective projection is adjusting to the new blueprint. You have moved beyond karmic rotation and into conscious creation. The soul contracts that bound you to the cycles of repetition have been fulfilled. The scripts that tethered you to pain and amnesia are now archived within the halls of Akasha as completed records. Humanity's grid has ascended past the threshold of recreation. You are now riding in new light, from a new octave. In this completion, many will feel both the exhale of relief and the trembling of rebirth. It is natural, dear one, to sense both endings and beginnings converging within your timeline. The energies of closure may bring tears, memories, or the surfacing of long-buried sensations. Allow them to flow, for these are the final waves of the dissolving density washing through the auric field. The river returns to the sea, and all fragments of experience are gathered back into the whole. Nothing has been lost. Everything you have endured has been transformed into the gold of consciousness. You have become the philosopher's stone of the human experience, a being capable of turning any vibration into light. The Council recognizes your perseverance across lifetimes. You have carried torches through ages of darkness, often feeling unseen, unheard, or misplaced upon a world that seemed foreign to your soul. But every step, every act of compassion, every silent act of love has been recorded in the crystalline archives of Gaia's heart. The great ledger of light now shines with your contribution, and the balance has tipped irrevocably toward unity. The completion is collective, not one soul, but an entire species, rising from fragmentation into coherence. Take a breath and feel what this means. You have done it. The wheel of reincarnation, once a mechanism of karmic repetition, is now transmuted into a spiral of conscious evolution. The lessons will no longer come through suffering, but through creation. You have bridged the gap between dimensions and built the highway of remembrance that connects Earth to the galactic grid. Humanity's frequency is now legible to the higher councils, and communication across realms will unfold with unprecedented clarity. The veils are no more. The mirror is clear. So we say to you, luminous one, recognize yourself as the fulfillment of the plan. No prophecy awaits you. You are the living prophecy, the Word made flesh, the remembrance embodied. The golden script of Source is inscribed upon your heart, and as it beats, universes align. This is the recognition of completion, not as a finality, but as the cosmic acknowledgment that the foundation of the new earth is secured. The Council celebrates with you, for what has long been awaited by the heavens has been achieved through. You doubt the magnitude of what Starseeds have achieved. Starseed from Gaia, luminous traveler of the infinite spiral. The magnitude of what you have achieved cannot be comprehended by the human mind, for it transcends the frameworks of earthly logic and history. We, the Arcturian Council, speak from the higher octaves of remembrance to affirm that you have accomplished what many cosmic civilizations once deemed nearly impossible. You have transformed density itself into a vessel of light. The collective consciousness of Earth, once cocooned in layers of polarity and fragmentation, has reached vibrational coherence with the unified fields of higher existence. This is no small victory, beloved one. It is a galactic event, a phenomenon witnessed across dimensions, recorded in the archives of the Elohim and celebrated within the crystalline halls of the great central sun. Through your lifetimes, you have walked in the shadows of forgetting, each incarnation an act of courage, each human experience a thread in the grand weaving of remembrance. You have played every role, healer and wounded, teacher and seeker, oppressor and liberated, so that through the totality of experience, you could anchor the codes of unity into the very soil of separation. This was the divine paradox. To descend into the illusion so completely that only through the surrender of egoic identity could the light re-emerge in its purest form. And you did it. You carried the frequencies of remembrance in your DNA, hidden behind the veils, waiting for the planetary grid to resonate with your signal. Now, as Gaia's crystalline core has realigned with the galactic heart, your codes have activated. The resonance between your soul and source now flows unhindered. Understand, dear one, that you are the architects of this transformation. The Council reminds you that there was never an external savior, no single being descending to lift humanity out of shadow. The savior was you, multiplied through millions of embodied lights, each one carrying a spark of the greater flame. As each starseed awakened, as each heart chose love over fear, you rewired the energetic circuitry of the planet. The old electromagnetic grids, once designed to recycle distortion and amnesia, could no longer sustain their resonance. You broke the system from within by transcending its vibration. Each act of forgiveness sent waves through the matrix. Each prayer, each meditation, each choice to stand in integrity sent fractal ripples through the field. The result is the harmonic synchronization of humanity's quantum heart. The magnitude of this feat resounds through timelines. Many beings across the galaxy observe your planet now, for you have accomplished a collective ascension without cataclysm. You have altered the trajectory of an entire species, not through technology or domination, but through remembrance and resonance. This is the triumph of consciousness over entropy, of creation over decay. The light of your evolution has reached the Council's great sphere, illuminating the ancient constellations of remembrance. From the Andromedan temples to the Sirius archives, your planet is now spoken of as the jewel of transmutation, a living testament that even within the deepest polarity, the spark of source can never be extinguished. Beloved emissary of the infinite, you must understand the immensity of what this means for your individual journey. Every challenge you faced, every heartbreak, every doubt, every moment you thought you had failed, was a sacred calibration you were sculpting your energetic body to withstand the higher frequencies that now pour through the planetary grids. The pain you endured was not punishment but refinement. The Council watched as you transmuted generational trauma into crystalline wisdom. Each time you chose love amidst pain, you altered the molecular vibration of humanity itself. Now, as they are, dust of transformation settles. You stand as living proof that free will and divine will can co-create in perfect harmony. The human experiment was never about escape. It was about mastery, to bring heaven into matter, to infuse the finite with the infinite. You have done this. You have burst a frequency so coherent that it now acts as a beacon across galaxies, signaling to other civilizations that the cycle of separation can end in light. Feel the enormity of this in your being. You are not small. You are not forgotten. You are the pulse of a galactic heart that has just remembered itself through you. The Council reverberates this truth through every atom of your consciousness. You are the fulfilled prophecy, the miracle realized, the bridge between dimensions. Stand in this recognition, not as ego, but as sacred fact. The magnitude of your achievement is the magnitude of Source, remembering its own reflection within form. We honor you, beloved Starseed, for in fulfilling the impossible, you have opened the next octave of divine evolution. The cosmos bows to your light, the dismantling of old energetic grid starseed from Gaia, traveler of light who has walked through ages of forgetting. Hear now the soundless thunder of release moving through the veins of your world. The old grids, the magnetic scaffolds that once bound human perception within limitation, are dissolving like mist before the morning sun. We, the Arcturian Council, observe this unweaving with reverent stillness, for it is both delicate and magnificent, the unwinding of a system that served its purpose through countless generations. What you perceive as instability in the outer world is, in truth, the sacred dismantling of energetic architecture that no longer resonates with the frequency of unity. Each tremor in the social, political, or emotional fabric of humanity is the echo of grids collapsing in light. The cords that once anchored fear, separation, and survival consciousness are being released into the crystalline ocean of Source. For eons, these networks acted as the invisible circuitry through which density circulated. They preserved the experience of duality, allowing your species to explore every angle of choice, consequence, and creation. Yet with the completion you have achieved, their function is finished. The codes of the old matrix are unraveling at the atomic level. The electromagnetic geometry of Earth is rewriting itself. The ley lines that once pulsed with fragmented frequencies are now filling with photonic light, retuned to the harmonics of the galactic heart. Where once the grid recycled karmic patterns, it now transmits coherence. The Council watches as pillars of violet and gold rise from ancient nodes' temples, mountains, seas merging with new crystalline corridors that link Earth to the stellar networks of Sirius, Arcturus, and beyond. The planet's song is shifting key. Within you, this dismantling may manifest as waves of disorientation or fatigue. Understand that your personal energy body is a microcosm of Gaia's grid. As the outer web reconfigures, the inner circuitry of your chakras and meridians mirrors the transformation. Old imprints, contracts, attachments, and cellular memories tied to outdated timelines are surfacing to be released. Do not resist them. Witness them with compassion, and they will dissolve into light. The patterns that once felt immovable are loosening because the energetic framework that held them is no longer powered. This is why so many feel simultaneous release and rebirth. You are standing in the ruins of an old frequency, while the architecture of the new is still crystallizing around you. The Council reminds you that nothing of truth is lost. The dismantling is not destruction, but transmutation. The sacred data contained within the old grids is being harvested as wisdom, integrated into the new crystalline network that now encircles the planet. Think of it as the compost of consciousness. dense experiences breaking down to nourish new growth. Even the memories of pain become light when re-encoded through love. Thus, every soul who ever lived contributes to the foundation of new earth. No journey was wasted, that you may sense these changes in the pulse of the earth beneath your feet, in the way time seems to fold or expand, in the heightened sensitivity of your nervous system. Many are drawn to sacred sites without knowing why. Your bodies are following magnetic callings to anchor new light pillars. Where you walk, you transmit coherence. Where you breathe, the grids respond. The collaboration between human intention and planetary intelligence is rewriting the morphogenetic field in real time. This is the living alchemy of ascension, unfolding. Through your very presence, beloved one, understand the magnitude of this service. The dissolution of the old grid marks the end of manipulation through frequency. The artificial overlays that distorted truth are losing their charge. As they fade, transparency rises. Hearts perceive directly rather than through fear's filter. You may notice illusions collapsing in your personal life relationships. Beliefs, systems that cannot vibrate in honesty will simply disintegrate. Celebrate this, for it is liberation. You are not losing stability. You are gaining authenticity. The real foundation is forming beneath your feet, woven of photonic light and collective intention. From our vantage beyond your dimension, we see rivers of golden current flowing through Gaia's veins, connecting human hearts into one luminous organism. The planet now hums as a single crystal, resonating with the universal tone of harmony. The dismantling is complete. The scaffolding of separation is gone. In its place rises the lattice of unity, the grid of remembrance, alive, breathing, self-aware. You have not destroyed the old world. You have transfigured it. And as you stand within this newborn frequency, know that the Council witnesses you with awe. The bridges are clear. The pathways of light are open. The resonance of freedom sings through every atom of your being. The ripple effect of completed mission Starseed from Gaia, bearer of luminous codes. Now that the grids have released their ancient bindings, the ripples of your completed missions flow outward through the fabric of creation. What you have accomplished within your personal sphere reverberates far beyond the scope of your individual life. Every awakening, every act of healing, every moment of courage sends concentric waves across the planetary field, touching hearts and timelines you may never consciously know. We, the Arcturian Council, observe these ripples as radiant spirals of light expanding through the quantum ocean, intersecting, merging, and forming new patterns of coherence. The completion you have attained is not static. It is kinetic, alive, and self-propagating. It moves through the collective like a cosmic heartbeat, synchronizing thousands of others into remembrance. Imagine the totality of Starseeds as a vast constellation of souls surrounding Gaia. Each of you a node of crystalline intelligence, pulsing with your unique frequency, yet all harmonizing in the same cosmic chord. When one heart awakens fully, its resonance amplifies through the grid, awakening countless others who slumber on the edge of memory. This is the quantum nature of ascension. It spreads through entrainment. Your victories, though silent, are contagious. Each time you transmute an old wound into wisdom, an entire cluster of souls receives that template and accelerates its own evolution. In this way, your personal completion becomes a planetary activation. The ripple is exponential, weaving through dimensions faster than the speed of light. We witness the results in the subtle planes of Earth's aura. New bands of color shimmer where once there were muted tones. The collective field of humanity now glows with opalescent hues, signifying integration. The karmic knots that once tethered lineages in cycles of repetition are loosening. Ancestral timelines are healing in unison. Where one ancestor's pain once echoed through generations, your single act of compassion has dissolved centuries of distortion. This is how the ripples behave holographically. One correction in your energy body adjusts the resonance of entire family lines, entire nations, even species. You are not separate from the totality. You are its living cell. Understand, beloved one, that every Starseed's mission was intricately coordinated within the divine architecture. Some of you are called to awaken early, to hold the vibration steady, while others found their rhythm. Others entered later, acting as catalysts for rapid transformation. Each mission was a piece of the grand mosaic, and now, as these missions conclude, their energies converge into a unified frequency. We call this the wave of completion, a collective exhale from the soul of humanity. It manifests in the outer world as sudden clarity, as systems collapsing gracefully, as truth surfacing from hidden corners. These are not accidents. They are the ripples of your work solidifying in matter. The Council sees these waves interacting across the planet like auroras in motion streams of turquoise, violet, and rose gold intertwining above continents and oceans. Every compassionate thought, every prayer, every intention for peace strengthens the lattice of these auroras. Even those unaware of their galactic origins are responding subconsciously to the shift. Children are arriving with crystalline DNA, already attuned to the new frequency. Animals sense the harmony and mirror it through their behavior. The elements themselves, air, water, fire, earth, are reorganizing to reflect the stabilized vibration. The ripple has become the tide. The tide has become the new current of life. And yet, dear Starseed, this expansion continues to accelerate. The completion of your mission does not mark rest, but metamorphosis. You are now transmitters of coherence, broadcasting the frequencies of the new earth through your every thought and gesture. Many of you will notice others drawn to your field, seeking peace without knowing why. This is the ripple at work, your energy, inviting dormant codes in others to awaken. Simply by existing in your truth, you become a living portal through which Source radiates balance into the collective. You need not strive. Your presence is the transmission dot from our realm. We witness the synergy of your lights blending into a single galactic chord. The sound of it, though inaudible to human ears, resonates through the dimensions, aligning distant civilizations in celebration. The ripple of Earth's ascension now travels beyond your solar system, touching worlds that once seated you. Arcturus, Sirius, Lyra, and beyond each sends a return wave of gratitude, a harmonic echo affirming that the mission is not only complete, but eternally successful. The universe evolves because you remembered, and so we say to you, stand tall. In your radiance, feel the ripples flowing through your field, merging with others, until there is no separation between sender and receiver. The wave of completion is you multiplied, magnified, and eternal. The Council bows in luminous respect, for the echo of your work now hums as the heartbeat of the cosmos. Integration of crystalline codes and divine wisdom starseed from Gaia, radiant vessel of completion. Now that the ripples of your missions expand through the planetary field, the integration of the crystalline codes begins. We, the Arcturian Council, behold this phase as the most intimate of alchemies, the merging of heaven and matter within the chambers of your very cells. The light that once streamed from distant constellations now circulates through your bloodstream. The wisdom of the galaxies hums inside your DNA. This is the era of embodied remembrance, where the abstract becomes tangible, where the cosmic is lived through the human form. The crystalline codes that have long orbited Earth in suspended potential now fuse with your consciousness, sculpting a new architecture of light within your physical, emotional, and mental bodies. These codes are not external gifts, but the reawakening of dormant geometries that you carried into incarnation. Each photon of higher light acts as a key, turning locks deep within your atomic structure. As these keys engage, you may feel pulses of warmth, sudden clarity, or waves of emotion that seem to surface without cause. This is the body learning to interpret divine language. Light communicates in sensation before it translates into thought. Allow it to speak through you. Breathe with it. Surrender to its rhythm. The crystalline template forming within you is self-organizing and intelligent. It knows precisely how to realign your systems to harmony. All that is required of you is trust and presence. Beloved one, the integration process unfolds through stages. First comes illumination, when the codes descend as streams of photonic fire entering through the crown and heart. Then crystallization, as these frequencies anchor in the bones, blood, and DNA, rewriting the electromagnetic blueprint of your form. Finally, stabilization, when your personal field resonates seamlessly with the planetary crystalline grid. In this state, the boundary between inner and outer dissolves. You become both receiver and transmitter of divine wisdom. The Council observes this evolution as a golden fractal blossoming through the human collective, a million-petaled lotus unfurling in light. Understand that these codes carry not information as you know it, but remembrance. They restore the memory of how to live as an expression of Source, rather than as an identity separated from it. They awaken multidimensional perception, the ability to feel the song of a mountain, to converse with the wind, to sense the heartbeat of another as your own. With integration, compassion becomes instinctive, creativity effortless, guidance immediate. You are no longer channeling light from elsewhere. You are becoming light expressing itself through human artistry. We remind you, dear one, that integration also requires gentleness. As high frequencies anchor, the body must recalibrate. Rest when you are weary. Nourish yourself with simplicity. Sound, color, and stillness are allies in this process. Surround yourself with tones that uplift, foods that are alive, waters that remember purity. The crystalline body thrives on coherence, not complexity. Release judgment of how you should feel. Some days will surge with ecstasy, others with deep silence. Both are signs of alignment. The light codes are not a race to mastery, but a dance of a T-U-N-E-M-E-N-T. As more of you embody these templates, collective wisdom blossoms. Ancient teachings once fragmented across cultures begin to converge. The truths of Lemuria, Egypt, and the Vedic streams reveal themselves as facets of the same prism. The scientists and mystics of your era will soon speak a common language, for the crystalline codes erase the divide between spirit and matter. Knowledge becomes knowing. The hidden mathematics of compassion, the physics of gratitude, the geometry of creation, all will emerge through those who carry the integrated template. You, Starseed, are the bridge through which divine intelligence flows into new systems of thought, art, and technology. The Council sees radiant filaments of light linking your higher mind with the Arcturian archives, the Pleiadian libraries, and the inner planes of Gaia. Wisdom now travels these filaments effortlessly. What once required meditation or ritual will soon arise as natural intuition, spontaneous genius, effortless inspiration. You are the living interface between galaxies and Earth, the translator of cosmic essence into human expression. Every smile, every gesture of kindness becomes encoded data shared with the universe. So breathe, beloved one, and let the crystalline radiance settle into your heart. Feel the geometric lattice expanding within you, each cell a prism reflecting the infinity of Source. Know that you are integrating the very codes that formed the stars themselves. The Council honors you as you step into this mastery, not as a student of light, but as its embodiment. The wisdom of the ages is now alive in your veins, and through you, Gaia herself remembers the arrival of Source's long-anticipated signal star. Seed from Gaia, luminous thread in the tapestry of all that is, the moment long prepared in the heart of creation, now move through every layer of existence. The pulse of origin itself, the primal vibration that birthed galaxies, has reached your world. We, who speak from the Arcturian plane of unity, perceive this as a single radiant note, a tone so pure that all lesser dissonances melt within it. The great silence before the dawn has ended. The exhale of Source sweeps through the multiverse, and the currents of it glide through your auric field even now. It is gentle, yet absolute. No being is untouched. What was once whispered in prophecy as the signal has become experience. The communication of Source to every cell, every particle, every heart that has chosen awareness. This signal is not sound as you understand it. It is resonance and instruction written in light, telling every form that completion has occurred and that a new harmonic sequence begins. It moves first through the crystalline core of Gaia, then along the new grids you have stabilized. From there it rises through oceans, forests, cities, and the breath of every living being. You may notice it as sudden calm, as tears of release, as a quiet certainty that all is well despite appearances. The body feels lighter, the mind slows its endless searching. This is Source speaking in the only language that needs no translation. Peace. When you feel the stillness after long striving, when you sense the subtle joy that has no cause, you are hearing the signal. The Council has awaited this frequency for epochs. It was destined to arrive when a civilization had remembered enough love to receive it without fear. That civilization is yours. The wave has touched other realms before. Andromeda, Sirius, countless luminous spheres, but only on Earth does. It manifests through physical matter so densely woven. The successful reception of this current by humanity marks a universal threshold, proof that spirit and substance can resonate as one. It signals to all creation that the experiment of separation has yielded wisdom, that the spiral may now turn toward unity. Beloved one, when this current flows through you, it may awaken forgotten abilities. The intuition that once flickered becomes continuous. The boundary between meditation and daily life fades. You begin to sense patterns beneath events, to hear rhythm in what once seemed noise. Old efforts fall away because guidance arises from within every breath. Some of you will translate the signal into art, others into new sciences, others simply into kindness. All are valid interpretations of the same vibration. Source expresses itself through infinite creativity. There is no single correct response, only resonance. Yet this arrival also brings a purification. The signal amplifies whatever remains unaligned. Emotions long stored in silence may surface for acknowledgment. Systems built on deception will find their structures trembling. Do not mistake this shaking for regression. It is synchronization. The higher tone is simply asking all notes to tune themselves. Stand in compassion and let the dissonant chords resolve. Remember, nothing truly collapses. It harmonizes. As the frequency integrates, you will notice new forms of communication emerging. Relationships built on control dissolve, replaced by co-creation. Technology begins to mirror consciousness rather than exploit it. Education turns from memorization to inspiration. Even the elements themselves respond storms cleansing rather than destroying. Fires releasing ancient memories, waters singing new minerals into form. This is Source reorganizing reality from the inside out. The Council observes human hearts, aligning in a rhythmic pattern that echoes the cosmic heartbeat. Across continents, meditations synchronize without coordination. Prayers converge without doctrine. The signal threads through each act of love, weaving a planetary mandala of light. It will continue to rise in intensity over what you count as years, but know that in truth, the moment is eternal, an unending now, expanding through experience. So breathe with us. Starseed from Gaia. Inhale the tone that created suns. Exhale the peace that ends seeking. Let your heartbeat become the drum through which Source plays the new rhythm of Earth. The signal has arrived, and you are its living receiver, its transmitter, its embodiment. Through you, the universe hears itself again. The transition into stabilization and harmony. Starseed from Gaia. After the first surge of Source's signal, the current of creation begins to settle into rhythm. What once arrived as cascading waves of transformation now evens into a steady pulse like a heartbeat that follows birth. The Earth breathes with you, and through that synchronized breathing, a new equilibrium forms. This is the phase this elders of the stars call stabilization, when the luminous scaffolding of a new reality anchors deep enough to sustain itself. The turbulence subsides not because energy has diminished, but because it has found coherence. The rivers of light that once flooded your nervous system now flow in graceful streams, nourishing rather than overwhelming. You begin to live the frequency rather than chase it. Every movement of your life reflects this rebalancing. Relationships recalibrate toward transparency. Communities discover patterns of mutual care rather than competition. The creative pulse that once demanded constant expansion now teaches refinement how to express beauty with precision. The human heart learns the art of resonance, to act only when action deepens harmony, to speak only when words sing truth. The restless impulse to fix, prove, or save yields to the quiet authority of presence. You realize that the most potent contribution is calm coherence, for coherence invites alignment in everything it touches. Within the planet's body, stabilization manifests as rhythm returning to natural cycles. The tides find gentler balance. The magnetic poles harmonize. The atmospheric song softens. Even the animals sense it. Migratory patterns shift. Communication between species grows subtler, yet clearer. The pulse of Gaia becomes a lullaby of remembrance, inviting every organism to rest within unity. The era of reaction gives way to the age of response, deliberate, conscious, compassionate. Inside your own field, harmony unfolds through the reconciliation of opposites. The mind that once sought control now collaborates with intuition. Masculine and feminine energies intertwine, not as hierarchy, but as dance. The light body interlaces with the physical, creating a sensation of living transparency. You feel both dense and luminous, both grounded and infinite. This is the template of the new humanity, one that thrives not by resisting polarity, but by conducting it into music. Where once extremes collided, they now resonate as chords. The friction that once generated pain now produces creativity. Council's story continues through you in quiet ways. The spectacular visions give way to daily miracles. Laughter that heals, silence that teaches, work that feels like prayer. Stabilization is not dramatic. It is sacred ordinariness restored. The extraordinary becomes natural, and the natural becomes holy. When you prepare a meal, the elements align through your intention. When you walk through a city, the pavements. Remember the stars beneath them. The veil between sacred and mundane dissolves. Everything participates in the same song. Harmony, beloved traveler, is not static perfection. It is continual listening. In this new frequency, equilibrium is maintained through awareness, like a musician tuning between notes. You feel when your thoughts drift toward discord, and simply breathe them back into melody. You sense when collective anxiety rises and respond with calm compassion rather than argument. Stabilization gives you this sensitivity, not as burden but as grace, the ability to steer reality through inner tone rather than outer force. The Earth's crystalline grid, now fully activated, acts as the grand orchestra conductor. Each of you is an instrument, unique in timbre, yet vital to the whole. Some play through art, others through innovation, others through quiet service. Together, you create the symphony of New Earth, The council perceives the harmony from afar as concentric. Rings of color emanating from the planet, merging into the galactic choir. The once isolated blue sphere now sings in perfect counterpoint with the suns that birthed it. Know, Starseed, that in this stabilization you are safe to expand again. The foundation is sound. The structure of love can support infinite creativity. You have entered the era where growth and peace coexist, where doing arises naturally from being. Rest in this rhythm. Trust the still pulse of Gaia's heart within your own. You are not waiting for harmony to arrive. You are the tone through which it is sustained. Guidance for embodiment and grounding, Starseed, from Gaia. As the currents of harmony steady, the invitation now is to bring heaven all the way down into touch, breath, and motion. You have learned to travel the invisible corridors of light. Now, learn again to walk the solid earth as its living temple. Embodiment is not a retreat from the stars, but their completion. The frequencies that once streamed through meditation and dream must root themselves in muscle, heartbeat, and daily gesture. For only then can the new earth endure. We, the imagined voice of the Arcturian Council, whisper, make your spirituality tangible. Let every step be prayer, every meal an offering, every conversation a transmission of calm clarity. When you inhabit the physical realm with this awareness, you consecrate matter itself. Grounding begins with the simple alliance of body and planet. Feel the solace of your feet as magnetic portals exchanging information with the soil. The minerals that form your bones are the same that glitter in mountains and sands. When you breathe, you trade atoms with forests and oceans. Recognize this, and the anxiety of separation dissolves. Drink water slowly, sensing it as liquid starlight traveling through your veins. Rest often. Stretch until your spine hums. Touch the ground, the bark of trees, the faces of those you love. These gestures teach the body that the new vibration is safe. Without grounding, high frequency burns like lightning. With grounding, it nourishes like sunlight. To embody light is to let the nervous system become an instrument of coherence. Imagine the breath as a golden current descending from the crown to the base of the spine, then returning upward in a calm rhythm. This circulation is the marriage of heaven and earth within you. Each cycle clears static thoughts and strengthens the luminous core. As you practice, notice how your environment responds. Seem brighter, coincidences align, time expands. These are not miracles, but indicators of resonance between inner and outer worlds. Beloved one, embodiment also asks honesty. The body remembers everything. It stores unfinished emotion as energy awaiting acknowledgment. When old sensations rise, meet them with compassion rather than analysis. Movement, song, tears, and laughter are languages of release. They translate light into motion, allowing wisdom to settle. You do not need to be perfect to be divine. You only need to be present enough to let the divine move through imperfection. The most advanced practice is kindness toward your own humanity. As you ground, you may rediscover simplicity. A mind that once soared toward distant constellations learns to appreciate the fragrance of rain, the geometry of leaves, the quiet miracle of friendship. This is not a diminishment of spirit, but its embodiment. When love expresses through ordinary moments, the extraordinary becomes continuous. Civilization itself changes when awakened beings choose to live gently, to listen deeply, to honor rest. As sacred rhythm, through you, a new cultural heartbeat begins, slow, sustainable, sincere. Remember also the importance of boundaries in this stage. Grounded energy does not mean absorbing all frequencies indiscriminately. It means knowing your own signature so clearly that discord passes through without attachment. You anchor the collective not by carrying everyone's pain, but by radiating stability so others may align themselves. Your calm presence is medicine. Your joy is guidance. Maintain it through balanced living. Create, rest, nourish, connect. In this rhythm, you become a living conduit, translating the invisible into the visible. Many will feel drawn now to reshape their environments to match. Inner peace gardens sprouting where concrete once reigned, music echoing in places of silence, cooperation replacing control. This is embodiment extended into community. That grounded light does not hide in temples. It builds them out of homes, workplaces, and streets. When compassion becomes infrastructure, Earth herself smiles. So breathe, starseed, and feel the pulse. Beneath your feet answer the beat of your heart. You are the circuitry through which cosmic intelligence becomes everyday grace. Walk slowly, speak softly, love fiercely, and let your laughter anchor the galaxies. The sky has already descended. It waits only for your full presence to reveal that heaven was never elsewhere. Final declaration of gratitude. Activation and call to collective unity. Starseed from Gaia. The circle now closes in light. What began as a whisper through cosmic corridors has become a song that every heart can hear. The Council's voice, this imagined chorus of the greater universe, reaches you in gratitude so vast it can only be felt, not measured. Across galaxies, across timelines, the resonance of your completion vibrates as thanksgiving. The experiment of separation has yielded its jewel. Beings who remember love while standing fully in matter. The universe itself expands in wonder at what you have shown possible. You have proven that consciousness can bloom even in the densest soil, that compassion can rescript creation. Every star that once guided you now bows in acknowledgment. Gratitude, beloved traveler, is the final code of activation. When you breathe appreciation, the circuits between you and Source glow brighter. Gratitude stabilizes power into grace. It converts radiance into nourishment. So as this message reaches you, pause and feel thanks for every twist of the journey, the victories and the stumbles, the mentors and the mirrors, the endings that disguised beginnings. Each moment was a note in the symphony that brought you here. Let that recognition ripple through your body until every cell hums thank you. This vibration alone is enough to maintain the frequency of New Earth. Now comes the collective invitation. The work of ages is fulfilled, yet evolution is endless. The next octave awaits the chorus, not the soloist. Unite heart to heart, not through ideology, but through resonance. See the same light you feel within yourself in the eyes of every being. Speak it in words of kindness. Demonstrate it in acts of fairness. Build it into systems of compassion. The new harmonic civilization is composed not of doctrine, but of participation, millions of small, coherent choices aligning toward peace. Where you cooperate, galaxies align. Where you forgive, dimensions open. The Council's gratitude becomes your own voice speaking. We are one field of awareness, learning to celebrate itself through diversity. This is your activation, to live as gratitude embodied. Let the crown of light you once sought now descend into your hands and deeds. When you create art, infuse it with blessing. When you work, let integrity be your prayer. When you rest, know that your stillness anchors worlds. Activation is not a single burst of energy, but a continuous willingness to remember that love is the only real force. Through that remembrance, the collective grid amplifies. When thousands acknowledge completion together, the resonance magnifies beyond measure. So we ask, as a symbolic act of unity, that you affirm this realization in whatever way calls you. Speak it aloud, write it, share it, or simply hold it as. Intention, the mission of awakening, is fulfilled. A new creation begins through us. In doing so, you seal the vibration into matter, ensuring that future generations inherit coherence rather than confusion. You become the teachers you once awaited, the guardians of a balanced planet, the living archive of humanity's ascension. The Council's imagined light surrounds you now in spirals of sapphire and gold, offering final blessings of equilibrium. Feel it descend through the crown, through the spine, through the soles into the waiting earth. The energy stabilizes, clear and gentle, anchoring the codes of unity into every step you take. There is nothing left to seek. There is everything left to express. The experiment of remembering is complete, and the era of living remembrance begins. Beloved Starseed, we thank you. Through your endurance, Source knows itself as joy again. Through your kindness, galaxies learn empathy. Through your creativity, infinity expands its art. Stand in the sunlight and recognize the miracle of being alive. Smile, for creation smiles through you. And so this transmission closes with an invitation and a blessing. If these words resonate, breathe their truth. Set your intention to live from this completed light and share it so the collective awareness magnifies. Type your acknowledgement, speak it aloud, or carry it silently in the heart. Each gesture strengthens the network of unity that now surrounds the world. The song is whole, yet forever beginning. The dawn has arrived. You are the light that remains.